ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the CSL Grand Finals for CSGO itself. We are in the semifinals here today. It's RMU up against Virginia Commonwealth, and we're getting ready to jump into our second map now. RMU just took first control back over on Mirage, and now we're about to hop into Train to see if they can make it a 2-0, or if Virginia Commonwealth still has a little bit of fight left in them to take it to a third map.
And again, Mirage was the pick of Virginia Commonwealth. They got blasted on it a little bit there. It was close in the beginning in the first half, 9-6 half, not bad, but the second half they just didn't have an answer for the Eagles over at Robert Morris. And now Robert Morris gets to go on their pick, which is going to be Train, which they were very successful on online throughout the regular season and the online playoff portion of the league. And again, these teams are fighting for a place in the finals tomorrow, because tomorrow we decide who takes home the lion's share of $30,000. It's $10K for first place, so obviously you'd love to be in the running for that. And of course, RMU came in as one of the favorites to make the finals, next to Baruch from New York, which we'll see later. And so far, they're on pace.
Guys, it does look like we should be going live here in just a second, judging from what I can see on our monitor to the side. So it is almost time to jump in game and take a look at the action itself. Once again, RMU with the lead, and just want to confirm that this is indeed live. And yep, here we go. Now we're into the map. So let's take a look and see if RMU is going to be able to keep their lead rolling right from the start by taking control of the pistol, or if the opposite will come true. If Virginia is going to be able to take their stride well to start off on CT side here, Train.
They have a lot of utility for an inter-execute here. They could throw a deep smoke Z connector and plenty of flashes, and then that means they can push up to the connector Train and cut rotations and get in the face of the CTs. Or I could be horribly wrong, which is fine, and they're going to do actually a fake on to enter. Now they're shoving the bomb through ladder room, and they have the opening pick.
Reality's already been able to get that pick up. Wow, that was 4 kills in like less than a second from RMU right there. Just wiped the board clean of everyone from VCU, and has left AK the Virus as the only one standing. Sadly, it's pretty much an impossible clutch for him to make, considering how quickly that deteriorated. So RMU will pick up the advantage again at map start, and they're well on their way, of course, to the 2-0 with that in mind.
That was lightning fast. And there was 1 kill. I was like, all right. And then it was just like 3 more kills in the blink of an eye. So that was pretty crazy. So 1-0 for RMU. They will get a couple of AKs, 2 MAC-10s, and a UMP. Still a decent amount of utility out there as well. VCU, on the other hand, again, not going crazy. They do have 2 Deagles with armor, 1 CZ armor. No crazy UMP buy this time or anything like that, like we saw on Mirage. Cool. Trying to get aggressive, but Reality has spotted it.
He knows they're going to push up quickly here in a second. He does lose his teammate in the situation. That'll be Welshi getting knocked out of the fight, but still the 2-for-1 into their favor. Anti-eco after all, as long as they don't take another 1 or 2 losses here, they're still going to be in a great position to make sure that they get out of this round clean, which is the important part here in the early rounds. Yeah. Building up that money for yourself to brace for the opening
and that loss is no big deal. It's actually, they saw the inner aggression, so they actually shuffled Welshi over there because he had the SMG. They wanted the extra bonus cash, but he goes down, but Reality quickly trades it, and that's pretty much the end of any threat that VCU would pose in the round. And now Linux is going out there with the MAC-10 to farm some dollar bills, and he is going to get it with 1. See if he can get any more. He does have 2 kills on the round, actually, so the MAC-10 has more than paid for itself already.
Absolutely. As far as AK the Virus is concerned, it's more so just looking to try and get himself an angle to pick up an extra kill or 2 if at all possible. But RMU are going to be running away now. And for AK the Virus, he's in a pretty safe position, although, AWOL gets that last second swing. Drops the Deagle. Like I said, it is only a Deagle though, so it's not a massive kill at the end of the day, but does, of course, give the extra money over to AWOL, which is the more important part of arguably out of this. VCU now going to transition into their full save round. Have a pretty much minimal investment from them, just a P250. And then 2 nades being bought out.
Yeah, smoke and an HE. The He nade, like He-Man, the nade. Ooh, they get a kill onto Reality, actually.
Nade was used right on the opener, too. Did a little bit of damage, you can see, to Cetus and Chaz, but not much beyond that. Nice reaction from Welshi to grab that second kill, too. Quickly trying to clean up shop and restore the advantage that they should have had at the beginning of this round. Chaz already down to being the last man standing, close to a pickup on that USP against Lennox, but it's not going to happen. Welshi finishes off the round, and RMU established that 3-0 lead.
And again, they're already 1 map up in this series, and this is their map pick of Train. Definitely one of their strongest maps throughout the regular season and online playoffs, and they're off to the start they wanted. But VCU are going to go straight for the double AWP. Again, this is definitely one of those maps where double op is quite common, actually, probably where it's most common in the map pool. So we'll see if Chaz and Segas can put it to use, as Chaz will be posting up on that T connector. No one going to be there early on, though, to spot, as we do see RMU establishing some control of Brown Halls here. Certainly a good staging area for this map to execute either site. A lot of windows you can throw utility through from the top ladder or into inner. It looks like inner execute is going to be on the docket.
That'll be the game plan once push comes to shove, but C just starts it off well as he finds a pickup from the off. Blur as well, very close up to the smoke. He's already seen Reality move in. A quick casual tap to be able to finish him off. A second kill from him. Tries to go for number 3, but Spermy finally going to be able to shut him down. AWOL looking for trades as well. Commits to the spam. And he picks up a kill against AK the Virus. Though he's got to be careful getting this adventurous now, as could lead to knocking him out of the fight. That's exactly what will happen. For Spermy, he'll be caught off guard by Rahul, and VCU will now get onto the board on the opening gun round.
Yeah, again, we saw from RMU over on Mirage that they were a very fast-paced team. They like to kind of stage up and just execute something right away, just try to trade frag, try to use their wealth of experience and firepower, compared to some of the other teams that are competing, and just leverage that advantage. But really good hold there, particularly from Blur on that round. Bomb plant does come out, but the round is secured from VCU. But because they invested in the double op, losing this round and getting reset would really set them back in this half. So they need to be very careful, because RMU can certainly still put a full buy together after that bomb plant, and the loss bonus stacking up.
VCU trying to play a lot more passively here, but he just oversteps his bounds slightly, gives Welsh the angle he needs for the opening shot, and he makes it even better by making it a headshot. So it's RMU off to an advantage, but Blur again showing up here when he's needed most. Shows up with the aggressive push to bring this back down into a 4v4 situation, but RMU have got a few tricks up their sleeve. They're quickly routing through the back holes, and as far as I can tell, VCU has no idea this is happening currently.
Yeah, I don't know. They have a player in connector, and they have another player who actually went back halls and is looking towards CT spawn. So, no, actually he went towards Ivy, so I think you're right. I don't think they have any idea this has happened. And to be fair, why would they? This is not very common.
It really depends on if Blur catches it or not. And he's looking the complete other direction right now.
Yeah.
So RMU should be able to walk right up nice and quickly to knock him out.
The problem is, though, their numbers are dwindling everywhere else.
Yeah.
So even if they do get that kill on Blur and get a bomb plant, they're still at a disadvantage, when the retake starts to set in.
Should be able to secure the extra money for the bomb plant at least, and there we go. They pick it up. Now it's about survival. The 2v3 set against them. With the free pickup they got inside of the set, at least made it more kind of winnable for them to be able to keep it into the 2v3. Now it's about actually picking up the kills, and VCU are not giving up a whole lot at this point in time. However, RMU are also not playing to atypical positions in post-plant. Chaz with a very quick jump up to find his own frag. Now we just got to hunt out Reality. But Chaz is blindly pushing forward. That gives Reality another kill and the finalizer as RMU bring it back, reset VCU, and go up to 4 rounds.
See, like there was some miscommunication there. Reality got that one kill. I thought they would have picked up on him, but no, he blindsides another player and then wins the 1v1. So well done to Reality. And again, well done to RMU, who make the best out of a tricky situation. Things are getting a bit dicey, but they sneak the bomb in through back halls with 2 players, despite the fact that I think they were in a 2 versus 4 when they finally planted the bomb, because their numbers were kind of dwindling elsewhere on the map, but they reset Virginia Commonwealth, and now you can see the repercussions. They just had that 1M4, no armor, and look at Linux just lining them up and knocking them down. And before I can even finish the sentence, the round's already done and dusted.
18 seconds long, so RMU just run through that one there, quickly cleaning up the remaining buy from VCU, and they'll have to do one more here as well, one more save that is for VCU, as they are going to pretty much be on full save this time. A nade stack though, so let's see where they try to position that. I would imagine they just send them all through Z pretty quickly and try to throw it back towards T-Con.
Absolutely. Again, this is just still the ripple effects of being reset after investing into double AWP. So the most expensive buy, you can basically have the CTs, and you immediately lose after that. You're in for a bad time, and this is what we're seeing here as against another quick round from the RMU Eagles. So they're up 6-1 now. And, I mean, Virginia Commonwealth needs to come up with something fast, because if not, this could be a quick 2-0.
You notice RMU are keeping a very fast-paced strat overall here as well.
But that's the thing.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's a really good point that you've made, because in low utility situations for CT teams on train, it's so easy to fast push T connector and just spread outer. It's so hard to defend against that without utility, and they don't really have it. They don't have any incendiaries.
I was going to mention as well that as a result of RMU playing so quickly on these rounds, it's really not giving a whole lot of time to VCU to take a step back and think about what exactly is going wrong, because the situation is going so quickly. We're not being given a whole lot of time to analyze situations and find these mistakes here. I would expect a pause relatively soon if we don't see VCU turning the situation around now. But they get a great start. Blur and Chaz working together to restrict that upper pressure. They find 2 kills, although Blur overextends a bit. Chaz is going to lose 25 HP. Still down to a 3v4 though in the favor of VCU, but they've only just now gotten their players into the site. We're going to push from Lennox, but no, commits a bit too early. He's got to run too. He's got a guy coming in from that other hallway. Just barely makes it out in time with only 2 HP. Regardless, Chaz has found another kill. Lennox trying to put one together, but he can't make it happen. C just knocks him out, leaving Spermy alone now, 1v4, and he's not going to stay that way for very long. C just completes the round, and it is finally VCU to pick up another one, bringing the scoreline at 2-6.
Indeed they do, and they actually recycled that second AWP as well that fell, so they'll be able to carry that over. Again, though, I can't stress enough that investing into double op is very expensive, and you could see them get reset again here if RMU gets this victory. They still have plenty of cash after that bomb plant and after, you know, the winning they were doing for quite a time. And so, you know, Virginia Commonwealth could be right in the same situation they were in just a few rounds ago. They had to basically double save. So they need to be careful. They are not out of the woods yet. But this is a start. Very solid defense on enter that time. We might see RMU slowing down things just a little bit now.
They've finally now been taken out on one of their faster paced executes. It's time to get a little bit more strategical. Bring out a few more strats and see what they can utilize properly against VCU here. They're still playing the typical 4-man in the A site trap here, but they're going to pretty quickly rotate Chaz out through Z to assist.
I think they're doing like the Molotov ladder room control thing. That like Gabi actually came up with, where you molly both sides of ladder. Smoke extinguished one of them though, but they still do get ladder room control in the end, which was the whole point of those 2 Molotovs.
There hasn't been a whole lot of aggression though from VCU instead of ladder room as far as I can tell, so.
It's just kind of one of those routines, I guess, just to make sure that you get it without taking damage or losing a player.
It's more so me being worried about wasting the utility.
Oh, he gets a kill too. AWOL just steps. He gets 2. What in the world? He just stepped out individual effort on the outer bomb site. That's a big play as well.
Another one. He got a third. He took down Chaz as well. He dropped the op with it, and that's just going to let RMU. The best part is, well, RMU doesn't even end up rolling into that site. They end up going inner. And finally, we'll see the trade come out on AWOL, but it's short-lived. Reality immediately takes out Blur right after the fact and brings it all into Rahul's hands now in a 1v3, which he's definitely not going to be going for.
Dude, that is nuts. AWOL just steps out and makes a huge individual effort with basically no resources committed behind it. Like, yeah, sure, they spent the Molotovs to get him in the ladder room, but when he stepped out, it's not like there was any pop flashes or anything like that. He just took individual battles and won all 3 of them. Just won the round by himself, basically. That was insane.
So well done. Heroic effort coming out from AWOL there to re-secure things for RMU. And like you were saying, we're still in a semi-reset position here for VCU. I think as long as Rahul stays alive, then they should be able to force pretty decently into the next round. But they are pretty much going to have to force anyway, considering that they're looking at the reset.
That's what we were talking about earlier, man. When you invest into double AWP on your CT side and then you get reset, you're in for a bad time. They do save that 1 AK on Rahul. There is still a little bit of money, so they can get some upgraded pistols across the board. They do have the 1 kit onto Rahul as well. But all in all, RMU have a sick advantage. I mean, think about what AWOL just did by himself in that round against the full buy. So, I mean, it might not take much. And again, there's no utility, so this should just be a fast outer push if I'm RMU. Like, there's nothing to stop you from doing it. There is some Ivy aggression for VCU, so they might get some intel out of this. It's pushed inner as well, and is caught again by the usual suspect. It's been AWOL.
Chaz gets a nice kill from E-Box, but again, it's not going to matter much in the grand scheme of things here. He had already lost another teammate just seconds later. RMU were still playing a very slow, very cautious play style for this round to make sure that mistakes like that don't happen. And as a result of it, Lennox gets the early spot on the Chaz. Can trade him out. A nice upshot through the smoke, or at least partially through the smoke. Knocks out AKA the Virus, leaving Rahul alone again, and he'll get spotted as well by Lennox, giving RMU their 8th round so far at 8-2, a decimating scoreline already. But thankfully, coming off of that previous round, VCU all ready to rebuy immediately.
Yeah, again, Chaz has had a good game here with AWP, but AKA the Virus is basically the top fragger from VCU last game, and one of their best players only has 1 frag on the board so far this half. Definitely had a tougher time here. Meanwhile, Linux continuing to play really strong, as you'd expect. Over on the RMU side, we've called out AWOL's names a couple of times. Well, she goes down pretty early, so this double op setup might just become fruitful this time around for VCU, but Linux is sneaking in.
He's still got a good position, however, and hasn't even had to give himself away just yet either. AKA the Virus gets the opening kill, so maybe a little bit too slow now coming out from RMU here. Sadly, they're giving players away, and there's just no room to trade it currently. Even with getting ladder control, they got to wait till the smoke fades away. There's not another one for the CTs to try and chuck back in there. So once that smoke does fade away, they'll be relatively in the clear. And this is where the advantage for RMU could potentially kick them back into the round. Don't get me wrong. Still going to be very difficult. Virginia Commonwealth are in a great position right now. But with picks like that and accounting for the exorbitant amount of utility that RMU has compared to VCU, this is where they can overwhelm the site because they have the ability to force VCU out of positions. VCU does not have that.
Ooh, that's a big entry from Spermy, and that Molotov on Z-Connector will cut off the 2 inner rotators here. A smoke goes up to block it as well, so this is going to be really tough now. Seekers has to go off with this AWP.
Chaz still stuck over here back behind Z, patiently waiting for that smoke to fade back away, but those jumps gave him away and allowed her able to take control on the site again. Blur, however, drops the bomb and now can continue taking fights as there's another player that jumps into the engagement. It's actually brought down to a 1v1 at the end of the day. Blur's going to take the op for the fight, sees the jump back up. Spermy realizes that the op is in play now and is going to change his play style a little bit here, I imagine, but still up on top, gives Blur the opportunity, but Spermy still takes the W in this situation. And RMU go up to 9.
You hate to see it because Blur had the bomb on his feet, basically, so Spermy had to push him. I mean, he had a chance with the AWP. Spermy did jump up on the bomb train and gave him a shot, but he missed it. That's all it takes. RMU go up 9-2, and again, money low for Virginia Commonwealth. Only 2 players with armor and some upgraded pistols here. Again, no utility, so RMU can just steamroll their way through router if they so choose, but they're going to, keep it default, just looking for a pick with the AWP through Ivy to kick things off.
He's waiting for this peak to come back in, but Welsh has already gotten himself out through Z. His ladder player kind of distracting for him, allowing him to push out quickly into the site while Spermy kind of takes the action away. But no, Seegis actually gets a very nice headshot from the Deagle, knocks out Welshie, and Chaz runs in for a second frag as well. That should be 2 AKs going under the control of the CTs here. If they're successfully able to retrieve the one that's inside of ladder, they're a bit delayed on that. Doesn't matter though, they're doing work with the CZs right now. Rahul out of ammo, but the op shot missed. Reality not wanting to switch over to the pistol, and that'll be his doom. Seegis takes him out. And it's VCU with a 3rd round.
And there's really no logic behind how that works, really. I mean, it's just playing aggressive angles and getting some big kills with the pistols. There was a lot of damage dealt to those players from RMU rifles. I mean, a lot of players were really low on health, but they still found their individual battles. And so that does put them at 3-9. But again, they recycle one op, but buy another, and there's the fear of the reset again as his fast outer push comes into play.
Chaz just barely hitting short of that op shot. It's unfortunate as he's not going to be able to continue the fight. Lennox as well, though, just falling short, but thankfully AWOL is going to be able to finish the job off for him as RMU quickly clear out the site, putting everything into Blur's hands now. He's found 1 pickup, but he's still got 3 more to go, and he's trapped inside of Z. They smoke him out as well. There's an op sitting on the ground for him to retrieve, although I'm not sure he noticed that or not. He's still worried about getting pushed at this point in time. But saving is more than likely the end point here for him. As again, RMU just execute far too quickly and too successfully onto the A site for him to really react to it.
It's another reset too, man. That's 3 resets to have.
Gonna get that up. Oh, I guess he didn't see it.
That's so harsh, man. Like you're playing CD side of train, you can reset 3 times in the half. Hard resets as well. So it is a sea of red with a few little islands of blue sprinkled out there.
It's perfectly sequential as well. Can we bring up the scoreboard again real quick just to see it? Like it's 3 rounds CT win, 3 rounds CT win, 3 rounds CT win. And it could very well become 3
so
rounds.
If it holds, it should be 12-3, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's that pattern.
The simulation that we're in.
That pattern would bring us to the end result there. Siege is still having the op in check, and it's a very odd buy from VCU here. They have the 2 ops, but they have nothing else besides Deagle and CZ buys besides that. The op will be able to pick up 1 kill before being traded, and now's when the surprise should come in, as Chaz has the 2nd one here. But sadly, it doesn't come out too well for them. Spermy just immediately knocks him out after he misses a shot onto a player at top train. And that's left only AK the Virus and Rahul in this fight now.
Yeah, so there is Linux putting the finishing touches with Welshie onto the round. So it's 11-3, 1 round left in the half. And Virginia Commonwealth still low on funds. They've really only had maybe 3-4 goodbyes the entire half. So definitely because they had a double save after the first reset. Then after that, they had a 4 spots after the reset. So a lot of low buys throughout this half.
And, I think Reality getting left-clicked by a teammate after they came out of spawn there as well.
A little love tap. A little pat on the back for support.
Yeah. Just a little bit of added pressure to the round.
Speaking of which, though, Blur pushing with the CZ with a couple of kills. Gives his team some hope in this round.
Remember, though, still playing alone on the inner bomb site. So even with the AK in hand, he's already down to 12 HP. it's going to be difficult for him to maintain going later into this round should he get knocked out quickly enough.
Ooh, does AK the Virus slip in behind? That would be pretty cool to watch if he did.
RMU should have someone watch for this, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Since they only have 3 players, I feel like they have to commit all 3 if they want to proper execute, because there's still a decent amount of numbers to defend against this. So that might be the gap that can be exploited, but this player here, Blur, gets sniffed out right away. And now with the bomb going down, now they can watch for the flank, no problem.
They took a risk on that, too, by just going and walking out through upper, that there wouldn't be someone with like a scout or something like that. And Z, I think they took a gamble on the fact that, all right, we already killed one, so let's hope they just have one on inner. We're over-committing to the outer site. And that was exactly what happened. VCU, sadly, only had Blur to defend it with 12 HP. And VCU on the rotate. Sadly, again, it looked like they're just not going to be able to commit to a whole lot here. Reality and Welsh should get those final 2 kills. And indeed, we do end up with the 12-3 scoreline. A very pretty half when you look at it on the scoreboard overall, but obviously not looking too good for the VCU fans.
It's pretty if you're an RMU fan, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Definitely can't ask for too much more out of a T-side train. Everyone contributing there over on the Robert Morris team. AK the Virus, normally not a guy to be that low on the scoreboard. So definitely missing him is Virginia Commonwealth. They're going to need him to really step it up with Chaz. They want to try to reel this one back in. But you have to feel like if this pistol doesn't go their way, we might be seeing some of the final nails put in the coffin of their run here.
All right, guys, well, let's find out here. Let's see if VCU can bring it back. This is sadly kind of an end-of-the-line scoreline right here now. If VCU don't pick up the pistol and, of course, fail to win their second-round force buy, this will be the end for them. But they started off well. They get an opening kill. They still have to be careful, as they do have players like Lennox watching out for them at the back of box halls. But they've been aware of this. Look, they're actually going to be conscientious of Lennox going to push back in. So Rahul gets a second kill.
That's big.
A very cautious push from Virginia. It's still a very decisive one, and it gets them these 2 good opening kills.
Yeah, it's like Lennox is trying to get something back there. And fair enough, you're taking a range battle with a USP against a clock you expect. So you would think that, yeah, I should win that, but he doesn't. That doesn't even do any damage. So now at the 5-on-3, Virginia Commonwealth have a great chance to convert this pistol and stay in the hunt, really. They need this for survival more than anything else.
Ooh, 2 quick kills coming in from the CT side, but thankfully the T's maintain, AKA and Blur pick up the entries that are necessary to get this plan onto the ground. And of course it leaves AWOL alone with a 1v3 against him, however, and a kit in hand. He's got the time and even a smoke to try and get out. The problem is, though, is that no armor sitting behind it. And he'll route through B. A save would be a little bit odd here, but not completely out of the question. And I think that might be what he ends up deciding to go for.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a kit, so it's definitely worth keeping. Especially when you're in a 1v3, you don't really expect to win. So might as well. You also, it is a little bit less money going over to your opponent.
Pistol round, that shouldn't be too much of a concern. I think it's mainly to bring the kit and the smoke.
Yeah, the kit and the smoke is definitely a utility worth having in the next round. Especially if you're considering that you're probably going to get like CZ armor or something like that. A Deagle might be in the mix, and then having that kit actually does give you a chance on a retake opportunity. So yeah, it is definitely worthwhile to keep around. And you do, in fact, see the armor up and the CZs out. A couple of Deagles for Reality and Welshie. Looking to see if they can't strike back right away, but of course VCU would love to take that round and try to get up to that 6 mark before the buys come back out.
Lennox opens it up with his first kill. A lot of Deagles, as you mentioned, in the mix here too. But so far, VCU handling it very, very well. AWOL now trying to hold off the site, but he's really the only one left by the actual bomb train. Spermy trying to play this as passively as possible. And I think C just spotted him, so there's the re-peek to knock him out. Reality, obviously being the inner player, completely disconnected from all this action, was not given a chance to do much up until this point, but even so, has to look at a save now as his really only option.
Yeah, again, saving Deag armor and flash, it's definitely a good value to bring over to the next round. Lets you try to pose a threat in what would normally be a full save. On the Virginia Commonwealth side, though, they have to be happy that these rounds are, that, you know, usually getting past that second round hurdle can be difficult. Like, CZs can be quite scary. Totally a balanced gun in the game, definitely nothing wrong with it. And they get past it, though. They passed that test, and so now they have a route to 6 rounds that they should be taking.
So VCU with a good way to start off this half. They've found these establishing rounds, as this one should be the easy one here, as I imagine RMU are going to be full saving. coming up after this. That's when the gun round kicks in. That's when we see the full buy start to roll in from RMU, and that's their first chance to bring this back under their control to quickly try and win out this game and, of course, the series as well.
Yeah, exactly. See what happens when Welsh gets an AWP in his hands. He was really good at getting early picks on Mirage with it, so we'll see if he keeps that up. But should be a cleanup round for the Commonwealth. There is a player they haven't sniffed out yet, though, but oh, there he is. He's gone.
Yeah, AK the Virus doing work there to watch out for all those maybe somewhat unexpected angles, and it leaves Welshie alone trying to rotate from the outer site. I don't imagine him doing too much here. More than likely he's going to sneak in, get a couple hits off, then get spotted and traded a few moments later.
Yeah, this should be in the bag. In fact, there's no chance Welshie wins this round. Let's be real.
Unless he somehow gets past all the T's and ninja diffuses.
Blue.
It's not going to happen.
I know you're trying to figure it out, but it's just not there.
It's not going to happen, but that would be the way.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where if you got that one right, I'd be like, all right, I need to see your work for that problem.
Yeah.
Or you don't get credit. Oh, the college memes. Try to throw one in there every now and then.
So 12-6, now the fight can really begin with VCU, like we said, at full strength with the buy, utility, and everything. RMU is going to be a little bit weaker for this gun run, but of course they do get the full investment for the first time. They're never going to buy in for the op as well on Welshie. It's going to have to be a glass cannon buy because it is only the opening gun round, and they just don't have enough money to get an op behind or armor behind the op just yet. They at least get the weapon itself onto the board to try and deal some damage if VCU tries to rush outer, it seems.
Yeah, looks like they're setting up for inner execute. We did see VCU, they did have some wits about them on T side. They did have some understanding of like basic defaults and basic executes, and they will go for a pop flash push into the inner sight.
Well, looking for the swing around here to be able to pick up his opener, and he gets it. Segis as well, finding another kill from the T side to be able to eliminate Lennox. Now just 3 remaining here from RMU, and they're still looking for routes to actually get into the B bomb, so they really don't have a lot to work with, especially with that death. I'm not going to be surprised if they both fall back to save here in a second, as VCU's execute just goes far too well for them.
Yeah, they're going to try to get that op back if they can. AWOL does go and grab it. He will be running over towards Ivy to save the AWP. Spermy over here at T-Connector. And it doesn't seem like anyone's really giving too big of a chase from VCU, so it should be able to carry these 2 guns over. Big round there from VCU. They didn't really telegraph that attack. Like, it was just a quick pop flash, and they just rushed in. They didn't, like, stage up any set smokes or anything like that, except for one up close on the doorway. But it was right, you know, before they pushed. It didn't really give time for RMU to, like, get a read and rotate early. So, good attack. Gets them the 7th round, and they're slowly getting in striking distance. I don't think RMU are too stressed yet. I think if VCU gets closer to, like, 9 or 10 rounds, then all of a sudden you start to get a little bit concerned about the comeback. But for right now, I think RMU are still, you know, pretty comfortable with how things are sitting.
And so RMU is not going to buy in too heavily behind their saved weapons. It's just CZ and armor buys to at least fortify it a little bit. And of course, those can still do quite a bit of damage. Oh, and AWOL.
Dude, he is just going.
They don't see him at all. He's just going to run right in. But unfortunately, he can only get 1 kill, but Reality also jumps in. Lennox finding one as well. Certainly doing a good job to make it difficult here now for VCU to win out the round. And in fact, Lennox will clean up shop after he finds the AK on the ground, picking up 2 more kills and securing the 13th for RMU out of absolutely nowhere.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely the RKO right there. That was a good segue. That was a good segue off for me. I'm gonna give myself a pat back on that one. Hopefully someone gets that at least. Hopefully someone gets the Randy Orton in there. But anyway, we're going to get into our first full buy round. Of course, RMU has snuck around in before we got here that we didn't expect. And now we will see if they keep it up. It's AWOL again. He's aggressive maneuvers, and again he's successful. He's just been leading the charge. Might not be the top fragment, but he's had a lot of impact early in rounds.
Welshie ready to try and stop this too, but the T's have too much control. Blur with a swift headshot, knocking him out, giving up bomb control over to the T's. Reality still has a slight position inside of Z, but I believe he's currently smoked off. So he's not going to be able to do much until that fades away. Lennox also waiting back by the ladder, and AWOL, of course, with his aggressive position, catches AK off guard, but still loses the fight. Now it's Lennox's time to strike. Gets a full kill against Segis, and of course he knows he has AKA low, but he's going to back up for now. Let them breathe a little bit here.
Yeah, again, good job from AWOL. He gets a kill and gets AKA Virus down to 2 health. If you breathe on him too hard, he's going to die. He's trying to slip in and plant this bomb at outer. Reality is going to allow it, but holds the angle from Ivy. Easy kill.
Nicely done. So now it's just on Blur, but we've seen Blur pull off massive clutches before, especially back on Mirage. Now he's going to look for the 1v2 in this situation. Problem being, he might not actually realize where exactly Lennox is coming back into this site from, because previously he was back over at ladder, but he's shifting to that position. So Blur is going to have a mental note of that and more than likely check the direction he's coming from right now. Either way, the CTs are wasting so much time looking for him. The bomb's got to be close to an explosion now. Blur doesn't actually have to hold for that long, but finally he goes down, and I believe there should be enough time for the defuse.
Yeah, there is. So it will be a 14th round there from RMU. Again, it's AWOL with these early picks helping them out so much. Again, he's 4th on the scoreboard, but just the impact he's had. But certainly reality, Linux there in the 20s. Looking like they might take this one just as fast as they took Mirage unless VCU can gather together and come up with something. This is probably going to be this is probably the best buy they have left in this game, is this one right here. So they need to make it work.
Otherwise, we're going to be looking at more than likely what would become an RMU victory. And then moving on into the grand finals tomorrow. The VCU have an early stack lined up for inner push. RMU have a way to crunch this, though. We've got Spermy down below in ladder. Another surprise waiting as well.
And Linux holding that angle again. Once they start seeing nades come into inner, that's when Linux can actually swing out and probably get a free kill. That's what they're waiting for. Actually, he will just hold it, though. He doesn't go for the bomb down, though, from Reality.
There's Lennox jumping into the fight, too, and Reality picks up a second kill from the inner. Gets caught jumping, though, so he's going to go down after the fact. And Chaz really cleaning up, but the problem is he's alone, completely surrounded by CTs, and won't be able to maintain. So RMU picking up again, up on the map, and now series point to push them into the grand finals.
Yeah, so close now. Great play from Linux. The patience there paid off. Probably didn't expect them to be there. They figure, hey, if someone's pushing upper, we would have seen it by now. But when they come out, he's right there. So really well done from RMU at map point now here on Train. Of course, they did win Mirage in a one-sided fashion, and Train might be the same way. It looks like an inner push, but Reality pushes through the smoke, gets in their face, gets a kill, doesn't get a second, but still does the damage.
Gets the intel out as well, so that's going to start to rotate a couple more seconds early. The problem, though, is that Reality was the only player actually on inner, so it is going to give VCU a lot of room to work with. Chaz with the spray down coming in on sidewalk. He's going to be able to find 2 kills. AWOL almost missing the Q on Blur, and is still going to take half of his HP off, but now we're down to the 2v3. Spermy's still quite a while away. I think he was already partway to saving, but he's now on his way back through Z.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. They both have kits that buys them a little bit of extra time to work this out, but I think they will just save. Yeah, I think they know that the advantage is a little bit too much for Virginia Commonwealth right now with, you know, full map control with the 3v2. But here's the thing, RMU know that they have so much cushion. You know, they have a lot of breathing room. They're still going to be 8 rounds ahead after this round's over, and they're going to be able to save 2 AKs, armor, 2 kits, good amount of utility. They have enough bankroll to buy around this, so that they're going to feel pretty good about things. It's really the pressure on, you know, VCU that have to win out just to get into overtime, just have a chance at a 3rd map. So there's a lot of stress on them right now. And again, this is a single elimination bracket, so you lose, you're out.
Well, VCU, another chance, sadly, for them to drop the series. Another opportunity for RMU to push themselves into the grand finals. Still on a full buy for RMU as well. I think they still have to get through this round, VCU that is, to be able to break them. Welsh with the push outside, but he misses. Lennox, however, comes out successfully in his opening duel. He's able to take a player down for the front E-box position, knocking out AK the Virus early on.
Yeah, so good opening pick from RMU, and now they have that 4 position on the outer bomb site, which is going to make it so much harder for VCU to find space to work with. And Linux might even go for one greater. Blur does pick up on it, though, evens it back out.
Spermy's going to back up as well. He's going to let them in. He doesn't want to take the fight from Blue Train. And Welshie holding a tight corner. Try to pick off these guys if they try to push down the bomb approach. Has been able to find one on his own regard. And Rahul as well, bringing this back by knocking out Welshie. But Spermy keeping it in, and then Reality finds the final kill. So that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Morris will be moving forward into the grand finals for this season. And sadly for Virginia, the road ends here.
Again, this is the 2nd finals for RMU this month in collegiate CSGO. They were in the finals of AVGL. They lost in the best of 5. That went all 5 maps. Now they're in the finals of this tournament where they hope to do a little bit better. Again, it's a $30,000 prize pool overall. They're trying to end the hunt for that line share of 10K, but even though we see VCU, you know, fade out, they still do take home some prize money, and they did still have a deep run this season, despite a lot of odds against them. So well done, even though they take an exit.
Yep, as we were talking about before, VCU at least being able to make it here to the playoff stage both seasons in a row, both this season and last season, as long as they've been participating at least. But at the end of the day, RMU is going to come out on top of this match. The experience, especially on Train, holding true for them and allowing them to push through into the grand finals tomorrow to take on their opponent, who's going to be one of the two next teams that we'll be seeing play a little bit later on.
Yeah, definitely, again, well done from RMU. They were one of the favorites to come through, a very experienced team. All 5 players on the team are at least in main experience, and several players Mountain Dew League experienced players, so definitely proving that experience has a lot of value here. But it's enough from us. We're actually going to get down to the stage to hear from AWOL, so Sue, take it away.
Thank you very much, Dust. Congratulations, AWOL. You guys are headed to the Grand Finals here at the Collegiate Star League Grand Finals. First of all, talk to me about what the team, what are you guys thinking right now? What's going through your head?
We were pretty confident going into today, playing against these guys. We knew our real test was going to be tomorrow, so we just wanted to play our game and want to work it out for us in the end.
Well, I want to bring up RMU's consistent improvement over the past several years. In 2016, you guys made it to the round of 32. Last year, you were in the round of 8, and this year, you're already in the Grand Finals. So what do you attribute this sort of consistent improvement to?
Definitely to our lineup. We've improved it every single year, picking up new players. We have Spermy, the experience and everything. So picking up the new players and all that definitely contributed to that.
Well, you spoke about the real fight being tomorrow. It's going to be either Baruch or UCLA, and a lot of people are obviously considering Baruch to be the heavy favorites there. So if you were to go up against them, how do you think that would go?
I think it's a 50-50 shot. It's going to be whoever shows up that day. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Sounds good. Congratulations again, AWOL. And guys, we're going to head to a short commercial break, but when we come back, it's going to be Baruch versus UCLA.
Cloud9 just one round away from hoisting the trophy here at iBuyPower Masters.
Because Renegades shouldn't expect him to be in this position. Cloud9 need the bomb down, and they need it down now. There's 20 seconds left, but it's wrong. Luckily, Rush is right, and he finds 3 kills. Make it 4. Massive shutdown on the Antique. It's a double AWP up for Renegades, and Skadoodle, he'll make it work. Nifty dead as well, and that's it. Cloud9, ladies and gentlemen, will be your victors here at the iBuyPower Masters.
Power your play with Intel Core i9 Extreme Edition processor.